Hello, I'm Daniela, and welcome to Stitch the Season in 2024. This is a wonderful online workshop to make a fabric journal, specifically for Christmas. Now, this journal this year has a little twist on it. We're going to make Santa's magical day planner, or his magical mission for 2024. And that's simply how he delivers all the presents and how he prepares for it. Everything he'd need in his day planner. From his ID, his pilot license, his veterinarian certificate, his day of departure checklist, and so on. I've created all these downloads and I'll include a link to them below. You can purchase them on my Etsy shop. They're not required. You don't have to purchase them and it won't change the book. I just think it makes it a little more whimsical. There's also a free download that I'll put the link to where you can print out your own naughty and nice list. Or you can make your own. There are so many options, and I want you to create the vision that you have for this journal. I have an online Facebook group, Stitch the Season 2024, and you guessed it, that link will be in the show notes. And I hope you join and post your work. Ask any questions. It's a great community. Today's video, we're going to start the process. Now, each video may have an adjunct video. It's just a little video explaining some of the processes in more detail. Some videos will have them, some won't. They'll always be in the show notes for that video. And I can't wait to get started. So let's start enchanting our journal. So this is the completed journal. We'll break it down into parts. We'll do the cover and the inside cover. There's a link for all of the downloads. Some of the downloads you can purchase and some are free. I'll include more on that in the videos as they follow. There's some dangles, a little pen holder, and then the prompts for each of the pages. They're very fun. Another dangle. I started out with a color scheme. You can do that or you can create your own. For today's video, we're going to start by cutting and gathering our materials and our fabric. So to get started creating the book structure, I chose 2 colors of fabric. You can vary this. You can use one color. You can use multiple colors. You can take sheets or you can use any fabric you want. But I want my colors for this book to follow a color scheme. So I'm going with pink and white, black and red. I always incorporate a little teal into my work, but that's not going to be the dominant color this time. I have my main fabrics here. This pink one has a little bit of texture to it. It doesn't feel like texture, just in appearance. And it's just cotton fabric. I think I got this at the quilting section of Joann Fabrics. And then I got this white fabric. And I love using white that's print on prints. It's just a little extra layer. I am basing everything on this little wooden cutout that I repainted. And I'll show a video of that in the future that goes with this series. But I just love how that's coming together. I don't usually do a girly Christmas, so the pink is a new area for me. I also have some batting. You can use fusible fleece. This is just cotton batting. I love the feel of cotton batting. If you don't have batting, you can add an additional layer of fabric. You can add a piece of flannel, or you could omit it altogether. You could also use fusible interfacing just to give a little stiffness to the fabric. But again, it's optional. It's the beauty of this project. Everyone's will look different and you vary it according to the supplies you have and that you like. Now I want to show you the other fabrics that I'll be using in addition to my stash. I wanted to use the black here and I found this print that had the birds on it. I'm not really necessarily going for it as the print, but I just love that it's not solid black. So I'm incorporating this. It's a winter fabric and it also incorporates some of the red, which was an unexpected bonus, and it has the owls. So I'm in love with this fabric. Here's my red and white fabric. Put it this way so you can see the pattern. It's got little deer, it's kind of Scandinavian, a little clock, reindeer. Again, I'm looking for a way to incorporate red and white together, mostly red, and this fabric fits the bill. And then I have this fabric. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it, but I love it. It has a little bit of green, it has the pink and the red and the white. And so all together, I have just a really neat color palette. So I'll get started with that. In today's video, we're going to cut the fabric for the structure of the book gather our supplies, and tailor that fabric to make the next steps of the journal and the next videos easier. So after I have all this, I want to show you some of the extras that I'll be using. So really anything goes. I happened to spot these, I think it was at Hobby Lobby. They're stickers, but they are fabric related. They look like they're yarn. And the color scheme is Christmas and my pink Christmas, so that worked out well. May or may not use these in my journal, but I gathered them to use. I have some pins I found at the thrift store that are just Christmas related, and I may incorporate that into the journal or not. I'm definitely using a button for the closure. This is a larger button, 1.5 to 1.25 inches. I'm not sure which one I'll use. I found this felt word at a used art supply store. Thought maybe I'll use that. Found these reindeer buttons. I think this was Joanne Fabrics. These are flat backs, so I guess they're not technically buttons, but I can use that in my work. I can make my own reindeer. I can use die cuts or rubber stamps. So really anything goes from your supply. Feel free to use it all. I wanted a pen to go into my planner, and I happened to spot these at Target. I'm not sure which one I'll use. This one just says greatest time of the year. It's a Christmas themed pen. It came in a 4-pack. This speaks for itself. The little pen here with the 3-dimensional squishy gingerbread man. I also have this wooden tree. I'll use that in my work. It was just a wooden tree that I painted to match my color scheme because I really like to have it coordinated. Found this little plastic miniature candy cane, so that'll work. And I have a key, which I want to add to my journal. This is a really big and heavy key. It doesn't have to be this. You can use a charm or anything, or again, omit that. But I liked where this was going. Some jingle bells. And I'm sure I'll find other things to use. I like to also show you alternatives to whatever I choose to use, maybe just some ideas that you can use that you have items around the house or you can acquire easily enough. So the next item I want to show you is something new for this season. It's downloads that really make the journal complete. And again, it's completely optional. So I have this download here. It's the Magical Mission. I'll give you a link for this. It's a free download. I printed it onto fabric. This is just paper-backed fabric that I purchased. I have a video showing how I print onto fabric. It's very easy. And I have some tags that I'm going to use on my pages as well. Again, it's completely optional. You don't have to print this onto fabric. You could print this onto paper and cardstock and use it that way. You can just rubber stamp onto your fabric as well. And I made this little naughty and nice list to go. That's going to be one of our early pages. So I'll cut this out and use this. You don't have to use this. You can use just a piece of fabric and stamp naughty and nice, or embroider naughty and nice, or however you'd like to do it. You can even write it with a waterproof marker. And I'll include that link in the description. Now this is what makes it a little special this year. I created these 6 pages of Santa's Magical Mission Ephemera. So they print out onto cardstock. You can print them on anything. I find the cardstock is the way to go. There's a few images on each page. I have my ephemera and just a little image to use in your journals. This is the top secret briefing mission, Santa Claus's medical certificate for flight. I have an elves report here. I have an identification card, some more images, and a pilot's certificate for Santa. I have an international flight plan filled out and a sleigh that I'm going to use to trace for one of my pages in the book. Pre-flight checklist, some what appear to be postage stamps, again more images, day of departure checklist, some stockings, and a veterinary health certificate for, of course, the reindeer. There's also some reindeer and a naughty and nice that you can use either in this journal or in a junk journal. This, however, is a download that you can go to my Etsy shop and purchase, and I'll include a 20% off link if you use that code. It's not required for the workshop. It just adds a little element of something whimsical to it. I mean, a mission briefing for Santa. I love that. I worked on that for months with some friends. It was a big hit and I enjoyed it. I wanted to showcase it in my book. So that's where this is. And again, in the show notes, I'll include this link as well. So now to cut our fabric for the book cover and structure. So we'll start with the cover. I'll include this in today's show notes, the actual measurements. This will be the finished size of the cover. It's 10 by 16. And you can modify this if you want. I made just a little template with some oak tag. That's what we used to call poster board. And I have the original size that I'm going to cut my fabric to, and that's 11 by 17. So I'm using the pink fabric for that. So I cut 2 pieces to 11 by 17. So I want to make a closure for the book. It will wrap around one end, and when I close the book, I'll use a button to secure it closed. So I cut another piece of fabric, the pink fabric here, and that is 8 by 8.5 inches. The inside covers, I wanted to have pockets. So I cut some additional fabric, and I wanted it in this pink color as well. So then I have a piece of fabric cut 8 by 9 inches, and that's going to be for the inside pocket on the left-hand side. For the right-hand side, I have 2 pockets, and they're going to be 10 by 9 and 6 by 9, and they'll be folded over as we work on them. But that's the raw size that I want right now. So I'll set these aside. And then I need a piece of batting for the inside cover. So I made a template for the finished size of the cover, and I just put a piece of batting on and cut it just slightly smaller. So I'll use that. The next thing I wanted to do is cut my pages and the batting for my pages. So we'll go over those as well. I also made 2 templates, the start size and the finish size. And then I have 4 pieces of fabric to make those pages for the book. And those pages are 9 3/4 inches tall by 15.5 inches wide. It will create a finished size of each page that's 8 3/4 by 14.5. I also have 2 pieces of batting that I'm going to make just slightly smaller than that finished size. Might have to trim these down a little bit further. So those are my pages. Now on one page, I'm making a pen holder. So I have a little piece of fabric that's just 5 by 4 inches, and I chose to match the page, so I'm using that white fabric. And then I have a little bit of batting, just so that I can really reinforce it. And so that's going to be my little loop to hold my pen. Set this aside for now. I also have a piece of batting for the closure on the button. Should have mentioned that earlier, but I will have it in the show notes listed all together. So now that we have our fabric cut out, the next thing is to create the lines so we can press our fabric. And for that, you'll need your finished size templates if you're using them, or just your finished size page. So now on the cover, I want to be able to press my cover so that I have a nice neat edge. You can leave it as a raw edge, but I want to go with that pressed edge. So I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm taking the wrong side of the fabric. This is the fabric that's not going to show. I find kind of the center. There'll be a little bit about 1/2 inch on either side. Once I have that, I'll take a heat erasable pen. You don't have to use heat erasable. It's not going to show, but I just don't want it to bleed through. And then I'll go around the edge here. Now by doing this, when I press my pages, it'll have a neater edge to start with so that I can sew it eventually. So here is the border. I can just go through here, tidying that up on any area that didn't get marked down. And I'll do this on all the pages as well as the 2 covers. So now that I have all my pages on the wrong side traced to the finished size, I want to take each of those pages and then I'm going to press my fabric so that the side that I want is going to be pressed in. I'll do that on each one, and then I'll decide if I'm going to baste around it or just pin around it and work on it as I go. So I'll just take my iron, fold the fabric and just press it down. I want to get that nice clean edge. And I'll do that around the perimeter of all the pages. So now I have all the sides pressed for each of the pages and the cover. What I'm going to do now is pin around the cover, and what I'm going to do to start with is going to take that piece of batting that I cut to just shy of the finished size page. I want to make sure I place it inside this area. I only have to do this on one cover, and I can trim this up a little more if needed. Move it around. The batting has a little bit of give to it. And then once I have that in place, I'm just going to take my pin cushion and pin around here to hold it in position. Now from here you can baste it with a hand stitch, or you can baste it with a machine. I think I'll do the machine basting just to keep a nice, neat work area. I want this book to look neat. And I'll continue doing this on the cover and on pages. So now we're coming to the end of the first video in the workshop. I have all of my pages. I have 2 of the actual pages pinned down, and I'll just baste around them off camera. I have 2 pages with batting. Again, continue to baste around it. And the same thing, I have 1 cover and 1 backing here with the batting on it. I'm going to put a basting stitch around, and that just means it's a stitch that's lightly applied, largely spaced, to hold it in place temporarily. When I complete my journal and I want to sew the pages together, I'll sew them together and remove the basting stitch. The beauty of the basting stitch is that it makes it for a neater end result. This way with the pins, I don't have pins poking me while I'm working on my project, and I don't have these ends coming up. So I'll baste around it, and then in the next video, we'll start completing the pages and the cover. So I've included a link to printing onto fabric from your printer, so you can print that naughty and nice list if you'd like. And I've included that link to the Facebook group in the show notes. Hope you consider joining. And we'll continue on Santa's Magical Mission in the next video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. And thanks for joining me today.